Chapter 1. I always thought suburbia sounded like a place you could only find on old maps. The corners yellowed and peeling, found in forbidden Vatican drawers or burning in Alexandria. Some lost city hidden among the scattered burnt-out cars and radioactive swing sets, with miles of cracked pavement heading outward over flat land in any possible direction. The center of a snowflake. White picket fences, white painted houses, white. E.E. Cummings was walking next to me, or maybe he wasn't, but sometimes you just can't tell what's actually going on, and in this case, sometimes a little imagination is better than the real thing. He said, chanting more than reciting, stars, rain, sun, moon, and only the snow can begin to explain how children are apt to forget to remember with up so floating many bells down. Chapter 2. Back in the day, Shel Silverstein told me where the sidewalk ended, and I followed that path all the way. I walked through the right wardrobes and hitchhiked in cars whose make and models I first saw in Oz, stolen from breakdown lanes on the gilded streets of the so-called yellow brick road. I found myself there, where the sidewalk ends, on a snowy day in early December. Everything looked like a photograph thrown away. There were pillars of clouds facing off against mountains, both raging like the blood-orange glow of an August sunrise. I watched as pale purple pulled stars into the fray and felt the silence between seconds. The Grinch and the Onceler, far off in the distance, were being crucified on giant candy canes, and the Who's down in Whoville joined hands in saying that they had seen the glory of the coming of the Lord, and they laughed and threw peanuts at the suffering devils. The Who people dreamed, the Who families dreamed, the Who GIs dreamed, and the Who God said, let there be light! And there were SUVs and gas grills and combination washer-dryer sets, and Who God said, this shit is sick! Then E. Cummings said, screw punctuation forms, syntax, screw it all! And like Dorothy before me, I found I was home again. Chapter 3. The sun did not shine, it was too snowy to play, so I sat in the house all that cold, cold, wet day, and then something went crash. How that crash made me dash. I looked, then I saw him step in on the mat, that smug little bastard, the cat in the hat. And he said to me, why do you sit there like that? I said to him back, to the cat in the hat, sit like how, you stupid and old and irrelevant cat? I have no time for games, I have papers to write, I have to study all day and study all night. Then the cat, he said, ah, but soon gave a smirk. I say, fuck it all, this is no time for work. There are games to be played and poems to write. Here's to sleeping all day and staying out all night. I am chaos, he bellowed, his voice torn to a roar. Entropy, anarchy, I'll have order no more. And he tore through the house, destroying our things, our couches and sporks, our irons and rings. He broke all he saw from ceiling to floor. He cracked all the windows and thrashed all the doors. And I simply stood, confused and perplexed. But in the cat's eye, I saw I would be next. Chapter 4. These are the wastes, the dregs, the rust-covered landscapes spreading out for miles, or, biblically if you prefer, fathoms, blanketing the country like a rash. Last night I got a text message from my inner child asking, why aren't you special anymore? It's nights like these when you begin to suspect nostalgia and homesickness feel pretty similar if you hold them right. Sleep tap dances on the pavement, beads of ice falling like baby Jesus' marble collection he lost in a game to the Antichrist. I used to be able to be anything, an astronaut, a cowboy, Secretary of State. Now I'm just told to think about my future. But that just means about how you're going to get food in your belly when your BA in English doesn't get you a job. This poem will never be accepted as legal tender for any of my debts, public or private. The sewers are overflowing, ice and water and muck are rising, head to high ground, build an ark, McGilligot's pool is overflowing. There were never any fish and now there won't ever be any. The stars are burning blue billions of miles away. And E. Cummings said, nothing, you idiots, E.'s dead, he's locked in my basement. His ideas, his form, and specifically his lack of punctuation has made him a threat to our great country's economy, polluting our children's mind with, gosh, dare I say it, lackadaisical thinking. And for being a commie pinko son of a bitch traitor, he was promptly dealt with. You see, the Grinch's heart was only able to grow through sizes because it was already undersized to begin with. However, a few shots of growth hormone directly into Mr. Cummings' heart caused it to swell to an abnormally large size, causing him intense physical pain before finally exploding inside his chest cavity. The city is gone and is only the first to disappear. Springfield will fall, Boston will burn, Amherst will be razed to the ground, and General Jeffrey's legacy of death will be nothing more than a pockmark. Then it too will cease to exist, and the blue burning stars will be all that remain. And this was found scrawled on a wall in Amherst. And when you're alone, there's a very good chance you'll meet things that scare you right out of your pants. There are some down the road between hither and yon that can scare you so much you won't want to go on. Oh, the places you will go. I tried to text my inner child back, but there was no reception. He must think I'm ignoring him. Chapter 5. It's that feeling like the word on the tip of your tongue between stuck together pages so tightly attached to each other the word might never have even existed, trapped between worlds and meaning. 4 days after his heart exploded, E.E. Cummings rose from the dead. He was filthy and like Lazarus before him, decay had already set into his flesh. The guards sent to watch his tomb ran from the smell, but one looked back and saw his eyes were gone, just deep craters, stains of dried black blood where once clear irises sparkled. Here is the deepest secret nobody knows, he whispered, voice like hot bubbling steel, words issuing from deep inside of him next to the liver above the diaphragm. Whatever is done by only me is your doing, my darling. I carry your heart with me. I carry your heart with me. I carry you with me. And he walked away, leaving New England behind forever, like a litter. Since then, only children have reported seeing him, walking at night, appearing like a negative image, always a little bit blurry and unreal. Chapter 6. Have no fear, little boy, said the cat in the hat. When I'm done, you'll feel better, and he gave me a pat. Things will be different, all will be okay. Destruction is a most wonderful game to play. When all is in ruin and cracked dead and broke, you will start to laugh at my most brilliant joke. When the stars have all fallen and the sun is no more, my boy, you'll be glad that I knocked on your door. No, no, said the fish who was there from the start. This is just madness, it's stupid, you can't call this art. Your life will be ruined, the fish said to me. Do something, stop him, don't let this cat be. Then the cat grabbed the fish and he swallowed him whole. Why, he plucked that poor fish right out of his bowl. And the fish, how he wailed, how he panicked and screamed. It was like something out of a horrible dream. Now I was alone, I had nowhere to run, so I thought, might as well join the cat for some fun. He held out his hand and I grabbed on real tight, and away me and the cat went, into the cold, deep, dark night. So I ask you, my friends, what would you do? Would you join up with that cat? Tell me, would you? Would you join in his games? Could you possibly see that the cat in the hat just wants you to be free? Yes, he's scary and loud and most certainly mad, but maybe, just maybe, you'll have a better life than that fish ever had. Final chapter. Down by the bay, where the watermelons grow, back to my home, I dare not go, for if I do, my mother would say, there is a train that I've always wanted to ride, a train that will fly past the New England countryside, rushing faster than a jet, breaking sound and light barriers, like they were nothing more than hot wax. It is a train that's only for children. Some say it's haunted. One day, we'll ride it together. You deserve better. Love, E.E. Thank you. Yeah. All right, so what's the name of the next the super group, as I understand it, coming up next?
Impossibility in the 7 Days Out of the Heart Orchestra.
Impossibility in the 7 Days Out of the Heart Orchestra?
Orchestra.
Like
Sun Ra.
Like Sun Ra or Arkansas. Well, let's have them play. Everybody give a round up for that name that I'm not even going to try and say again.
Where's my trumpets? I don't know. I put it over there. Oh, really? Well, I don't know.
So good. Every time he's just like, I'm fun. This is gonna be good.